Yo, 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 live from the 856. This is channel 856 back again, episode 11. Your boy Danny X.
Back here with Jared. Let's go.
Let's go. Playoff season. We are back. We are in the
Whew.
fantasy football playoffs. It is
Yes.
what has been a long, good, competitive season. It's finally come to the postseason. Obviously, the big dogs are not in the postseason yet, but for fantasy football purposes, it is that time. What's good, Jared? How you feeling?
Bro, I've been better. Feeling good. Symbolic is the rain out here because it's been raining on me for the last couple of weeks. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
it's been raining.
Yeah, it's been very very tumultuous. That's a good word.
I like that.
But yeah, no, we appreciate y'all as always. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Danny X, Jared here with y'all for episode 11, and yeah, we gonna get into it. So yeah, these are the final regular season standings. We will project those right here. So it's that time of the year where Tuesday morning comes in hot and heavy. Like for the last
Woo.
probably 5 weeks, Tuesday morning, first thing I open is NFL app, like the fantasy football app, instantly just to see where standings fall. I thought I had some sort of any type of outlying chance, but because I had 2 wins over Zaire and then I lost to Chris, but Chris split with Zaire, so I was hoping that had a little bit more weight to it than it did. So I am the first one out, as they say in NCAA. I am first one out. And yeah, my co-host and producer and executive producer, if you will, are all in the postseason. So I am the lone man on that channel 856 that did not make the playoffs. I did not do my job. We talked about this on episode 1 that we hoped everybody here would make the playoffs, and I did not do my part. I got hit with a lot of late season buys. The last 2 or 3 weeks, just playing without Derrick Henry, playing without Ra, playing without some of my key pieces. Bless you. Playing without some of my key pieces was just brutal. I need that like extra 20, 25 points, just barely scraping 100. Wasn't going to get the job done. So shout out to Kig. He is our number one overall seed, only double-digit victory team. So finished 10-4 at the top of the leaderboard.
Hey, quick thing. I was projected by
The app.
the app to
Yeah.
go 1-11.
1-11.
God.
So instead of double-digit losses, he double-digit wins. So
Dubs.
yes, absolutely. And our points champion is officially Scoop. We've been saying it all season. 1,800 points.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me check the Hall of Fame real quick for season team points. That shatters the record. The previous record was CP with 1739, like we talked about. Shattered that record.
Shout out to Scoop for that.
Yeah, shout out Scoop for that for sure. We also had another record new to this league with the best single game player performance coming from Josh Allen, giving Chris 57. It's the highest output since I had Alvin Kamara in 2020 with 6 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean a lot of history closing out the league, and the playoffs are set. So, Jared, how you feeling? So so we did match up like we talked about. I came with it. It was everybody was all systems go. I talked about how I was going Sam Darnold. I felt that the Vikings were gonna BTA to the Falcons, and he put up 44 matchup for me and Jared right here.
Yo, it got real
Yeah.
deal in the field.
But by the time Burrow and Higgins came up to play, they I was up 100 at that
Yes.
point. So
Yes.
so I was
100.
rolling. Got good games from
It's crazy.
yeah, everybody showed up. Garendo wound up playing really well. James Conner, they both put up 20 plus. Evan Ingram was solid. Jalen Waddle, who's been a
Versus
really
Jets,
good,
too.
who's been really good the last couple weeks. Jason Myers, double digit game, who you highlighted in your kickers last week. Played really well. So I did everything I could to get in. Finished at 500. But Jared, you finished at that would put you at, let me refresh this, 9-5, 1,500 points, 1,521 points, .78. You finished with exactly like to the decimal 1,500 points scored against, like to the
No,
decimal.
that's funny.
So I like clean numbers. I'm that kind of guy that brings change with the cash. So yeah, no, it's pretty dope. King had 1,509 points against 1,368, and we talked about this a little bit in the chat. It really just comes down to the schedule, right? There's three playoff teams with the lowest points against. So, but they scored enough to keep a good margin and put themselves in a good place to be in the playoffs. So our 6 playoff teams, we got King, we got Scoop, we got Jared, CP, Keemus, and Chris. So obviously, yeah, so a lot of people could be first time champions. CP, Jared, Scoop, and Keemus. We got 2 one timers in the playoffs, so there's a good opportunity for a new champion. So 3, you are 3-6, so you have Chris, first round. Talk to me. I know you were banking on that bye. Strategies changed a little bit. With the Bengals having who do the Bengals have this week?
Titans.
Bengals having the Titans. So it's a little bittersweet because you obviously wanted to have that week off, and then Burrow comes back the following week against the Browns, who would dominate, but he can dominate the Titans as well. So like, what are you thinking? Like, what's your game plan now? Obviously, you want to mow everybody down. You know, what are you thinking now? Being in the 3 seed, you gotta stay a little bit more active, right? You could have took a week off. Now you gotta hit the waivers. You gotta make sure, see what the movement's looking like. You gotta watch film. You know what I mean? Type shit. Watching the 4-5. So
It really hurts more because it's my grandma's birthday weekend. So I was really trying to have a bye week
and
just so
cool
I
it.
could,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
can sit back. So I'm about to miss games being in traffic. Like that was really what I was aiming for. And it was looking good a couple weeks ago until I
Yeah.
started folding.
Yeah, a
So
lot of
now
running back trouble. If you want to talk about that, just
I'm one of those owners for my team. I'm missing Mason, Dobbins, CMC, and Jonathan Brooks just got injured, but he wasn't a key piece for my team. But I'm missing those 3. I got to replace them. It is what it is. Everyone, they can say the same thing. Somebody's like, "Oh, I'm missing my running back, my quarterback."
Yeah.
It is what it is. So,
Yep.
just trying to keep my eyes on the waiver. Trying to find a key contributor, someone get me 8 to 12.
Yeah, facts.
Just need a compliment.
Yeah, you just need a compliment, honestly, because I think Joe Burrow's in MVP form.
Oh,
I think your wideouts
My
are
favorite quarterback in the league, Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean your wideouts are stout. Mike tried and true. Bucks are playing good football. Garrett Wilson's on the uptick, and then having T as the flex. Currently, that's how your lineup stands. Obviously can change, but you got a lot of options at wideout, including Josh Downs, but he could see some PS2 work. So I doubt that makes it into the lineup. But either way, now you got Chris, right?
Chris is a good team.
He has a really good team. If you want to put the matchup here. For our 3-6, we can just go right into it. We'll switch it up since we got a big playoffs matchup. We might as well just go into it. You got Chris, 7-7, one of the 3 500 teams with myself and Guru. Made it out of the tiebreaker. I told him in the chat, ran the table. I respected it. He said he had to win out, and he did just that. So, no, it wasn't at the mercy of no flukes, no weirdness, no anything like that. He just came pulled up and got his dubs, got into the playoffs.
Mini gauntlet.
Yeah, little mini gauntlet for sure. He's got Josh Allen against Detroit, so that should actually, I know that probably a little bit, on the upside. He's still projected 25. You got a 25, pretty much 24, 25 quarterback yourself. He's got, they're going to Detroit. Kyron's got San Fran. Obviously on the flip side, Gibbs got Buffalo, but and then he's got, Cooper Kupp, and that offense is churning right now. Fryer with a tough matchup in Philly. What are you looking to see? Like, where do you think, for you, where do you think you're getting your firepower from? And for Chris, where do you think his firepower is
Oh, his running backs is like he has
Yeah.
a clear advantage. So that's why I have to have upside. My receiver is definitely. I'm looking for big games this week. I'm talking about like maybe multi-touchdown games.
Yeah.
Because his receivers are still strong too. They have to outscore or compete with his receivers, so hang the same kind of points range, and then also they got to cover. So like, let's just call it, Cup gets him like let's say 15, 20.
Right.
I might need my receiver to have 25. That way he
For
can
sure.
outscore his receiver plus add some support to where I'm missing my running back. So I think that's kind of where I'm gonna need his game. He has the most potential because you see what Josh Allen's doing, but like you just said, you see what Joe Burrow's doing. So I feel comfortable there. It could just be it's real exciting this week. It's just annoying because I know Josh Allen. This is the first year he did not go crazy on me. Like every year it was like 30 plus.
Yeah.
So
Keeps
now
you
I'm
in
just
striking distance.
yeah, but it's exciting though. It should be a good game. That's got the highest over under this week. So no
Yeah.
matter what, it should be good football played. I'm sure he'll have a good game though.
And then on the other side of the bracket, you would be facing.
Is that determined?
So you don't get. No, three. You would get the 3-6 would play you or the. No, you play. Yeah, you get a chance at the lowest seed. Yeah, so that yeah, it's not determined yet. So, 4-5 we got CP and Kemis. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one too. I don't know because like neither team's hot. Like they both took. I'm pretty
They
sure
just
they.
played last week. Too. That's
Yeah,
the funny part. But it
yeah,
was bye week last week.
exactly. So like seeing this matchup at its full strength, both with two three-headed monsters at wideout. We could put the matchup here. Got Adams, Ridley, and MHJ versus Hill, Sutton, and Neighbors. All capable of dropping 20, 25 points. Kyler Murray versus Lamar Jackson, two mobile quarterbacks that could make it work. I think once we get to that point, I think Lamar Jackson's going to go berserk on the Giants and might even put in like a 300 passing, 100 rushing, like minus 9.5. Like they really might go crazy on New York this week. In New York, that it's gonna be a good game. Yeah, and then 1 and 2, Scoop and Q sitting in the tuck, waiting for the matchups to unfold. Obviously, Q will get the lowest of the seeds, being in the number one, and then Scoop will they'll reseed and then play who's left. So, playoffs on the way. Stay tuned. We're gonna try and get some matchup voice memos, a little preview for the socials, a little shit talking, getting into the playoffs. So look forward to that. Stay tuned with that. Yeah, and we'll go into week 14 in the league. Started off with Packers Lions, really good game, 34-31. Lions came out on top there to start the week. Another week, another Raiders loss. Closer we get to Shador Sanders. Throw your rollies up. Bucks got the Raiders 28-13. It is promising because we do look good in our losses, and it's really just our quarterback. I mean, we compete. Brock Bowers is a monster.
I wonder who passed on him.
I wonder. Interesting. Eagles got the dub against Carolina. Saints squeezed one out over New York, which New York had a chance to win. Another game with a chance to win. Bengals Cowboys with the disastrous special teams move there. Chiefs found a way again. Chiefs and the Zebras found a way again to get a dub. 49ers win big over the Bears. My favorite game of the week was Bills Rams. Rams always have once every couple years one of those just 40-plus point shootouts with a team. I remember the Rams game against the Chiefs when it was like Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Aaron Donald, Todd Gurley. They always find a way to have those shootouts with teams, so they're always making it fun. Rams are a dangerous team to face down the stretch.
Definitely.
Dolphins got the Jets in overtime.
Shocker.
Vikings win big over the Falcons, like we talked about. Steelers train is still rolling. My game of the week was Bills Rams. How about yourself? What was that game that caught your eye? Obviously, Monday
Bills,
night.
Rams.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was crazy. Monday night was fun though too. Definitely, Jamar Chase is electric. He's probably like Joe Burrow is my favorite quarterback.
Yeah.
Favorite receiver. Whew, man.
I'm about to say I
Jamar
put it in the
Chase.
chat. Where do you and maybe we can put this on the social as well as a little debate. Like where do you err on the Jetta's Chase? Because I mean,
I mean,
Clear
after
cut, that's 1-2. Like it's not even
yeah, I
close.
mean,
Like
after this year, I think it's definitely Chase has made a case to be number one.
yeah,
I think he has a better quarterback, so you have to kind of also factor that in slightly because I feel like Jefferson was better last year with Kirk Cousins over Sam Darnold.
yeah.
Granted, he's still doing good this year, but it's just like I feel like he had those big blow up weeks.
Not as many scores as well. He makes sure
Yeah,
Addison's get fed.
yeah.
Nah, I
Just
agree.
like they take more turns over there.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Kevin McConnell's got them balling though. Shout out to the Vikings. Definitely didn't expect him to look this dominant, especially losing J.J. McCarthy. But yeah, no, that was a good stuff last week. Another week in the books for the NFL. Divisions are shaping out. I know the looks like the Bills clinched the division. Eagles clinched the playoffs. Detroit's in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only three, right? And Kansas City and also won their division. So four teams ready to lock and load for their playoff berths already secured. And yeah, and we keep it grooving. So let's go into week 15. Hopefully you guys made your playoffs and you still might need a couple waivers. Um, Buys are over.
Definitely.
Buys are over. So you guys are all locked and loaded for the playoffs. Nobody should be out unless they're barring injury. So I'm going to alley oop it to you, Jared. Let's start
Mm-hmm.
with the quarterbacks for the waivers this week for week 15.
We have the usual guys. My favorites quarterback. I don't know if you're in one of these leagues, but definitely deeper plays. Definitely, I'm liking Bryce Young. I feel like he's someone playing really well recently. If Xavier Leggett holds on to a pass, his stat line looks different.
Yep.
Last week against a strong Philly pass defense. This kid was benched too. People forget that. Everyone was laughing, clowning him, a bust, all this. So I don't really hear that about him that much. Nobody's really giving him
Competing.
credit, but I give him some shine.
Yeah.
Um,
Shout out Rod Wave, whatever that conversation was. Got him right. Whatever that was.
said Riley.
Yeah.
No, I did see that though. Without being biased, I'm only gonna say this because Aaron Rodgers plays the Jaguars this week. I kind of like that, but like there aren't any quarterbacks on bye and there aren't any major injuries. So
Right.
some of these waivers, I feel like they're just depth pickups, or like if your opponent somehow needed to play a quarterback or something. So
Yeah, or if you're playing
usual.
defense, or maybe like
or for next week.
yeah, the next week maybe you need to stash a matchup ahead if you got to play through the playoffs.
Yeah, so I would say that the only one I'd really consider playing right now would be Knicks. I think for this week.
Yeah, Bo, for
Someone
sure.
dropped by his bye week was last week, so someone could have dropped him. But
Yeah, favored 4 against the Colts. Nah, that's a good shout, especially at the crib too. Being 8-5, they want to soak up that AFC wild card spot.
facts.
Running backs, secure handcuffs is that time of the year with the injury bug. If you're going through the postseason, you want to have options, right? You just don't want to have what you start. You don't want to have what you're projected optimized. It's not the point of the year where you just hit best projected points and leave it alone. You got to make sure that these matchups look right. You got to make sure, like I talked about earlier in the season, maybe maybe a backup quarterback has to come in and you're facing the guy with the starter and you got to play defense and you might want to keep a defense so you have somebody to stash and take out, so you got to make sure you're playing defense. So guys like Charbonnet, if K9 misses, plug and play for week 14. um, Tank Bigsby, 18 carries week 14 versus Etienne's 4 carries. So he has an upside. That's one of those, Etienne might have been your guy all year, but you got to make sure, obviously barring his injuries. But play 53% of the snaps versus a very, very tough run defense from the New York Jets. Patrick Taylor, I don't know what's going on with the performance, dietary, health, and fitness coach in San Fran or the running backs coach or well, I don't know what it is, but CMC, Mason, and Garendo all injured. Isaac left last week with an injury, so up goes Patrick Taylor. So, I mean, Shanahan's offense is always conducive for a running back. As you can see, Garendo comes in and can drop a quarter. So, PT is not a bad play. Patrick Taylor is solid play because they will still get the work. So, Brees Hall injury possibly shut down for the year. Don't want to risk that. Obviously, he's a cornerstone of that franchise, so keeping him in health is a priority, especially with the postseason being officially eliminated for the New York Jets. So Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, both plays to look at. Real quickly, Raiders, a lot of running back injuries. Sincere McCormick, AP said he's earning more reps. Sean Tucker with Bucky Irvin a little banged up. He's going to have more reps next to Rashad White, who's playing really good football as well. Um, McLaughlin, the Denver running backs, McLaughlin week 14 at 14. His teammate Javon no more than 4, or Javante, excuse me, no more than 4, while offering a receiving upside with 2 receiving touchdowns. So a little bit more versatile, something you should check out. Um, Guys, just real quick, Gus Edwards, Kamani Vidal, Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols. If you're playing them in the playoffs, that's brutal. So just
That's me right now.
I know.
Kamani Vidal
I
could be
already
an
know.
option.
Yeah, man. So, unless you're obviously in a super injury bug, these are some guys you should think about. But kick it back to you for the wideouts.
Favorite one recently, I'll give you two.
Yep.
Jerry Judy, someone I said a couple weeks back, his preference for the Cleveland wide receivers, the
Yeah.
trio of them. But Adam Thielen, last 3 games since coming back from IR, 25 targets, 20 catches, 258 receiving yards, and a touchdown. He dropped another one, so it could have been even a bigger game for him, or a bigger stat line, I should say.
For sure.
Looking ahead in the playoffs, especially like Quinn, if you're someone with a first round bye, I'd be looking at him specifically because his matchups ahead are Dallas, Arizona, Tampa Bay, and Atlanta. Dallas this week, but Arizona, Tampa Bay, and Atlanta next week. All those should be airmail,
Yeah.
possibly trailing. A lot of points should be scored, or opportunities to score. So him, my boy NWI, he had a touchdown call back last week.
He
I
did.
started him in the league, so I was disappointed, but
We almost had the bet too, Q.
yeah,
NWY, man.
he's very involved, very underrated, and I'm just kind of see if Will Levis is playing this week. I'm not too sure about what was it, Mason Rudolph. I'm not sure if they have the same connection. And then quietly, Tim Patrick put up a 7 target, 6 catch, 43 yard, 2 touchdown game a week ago. Looking like he has maybe some, maybe some squeeze in that juice, or that lemon has some squeeze, whatever you want to say over there. But him, Brandon Cook's not somebody I'm looking for. But in case CeeDee Lamb gets hurt, he has that shoulder injury, keeps leaving games. Somebody like that. And then McConkey, same thing. I'd look for a QJ or Palmer in case McConkey gets banged up or shut down.
For sure. For sure.
Tight ends,
Tight
yeah.
ends, yeah, on to the tight ends. John New, again, if he's not on your team by this point, you have been missing out on production, like just sheer consistent production. John Smith,
He scored an overtime touchdown on my team
overtime
this week. I've been
touchdown,
watching
game
it.
winner. He did, yes, he did. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a rep before that
No
drive,
catches.
and then went 3 for 43 with a touchdown or something like
Sure
that.
did.
So Zach Ertz, week 7, 40 since week 7, he's at 46 targets, 31 receptions, high catch rate, 273 yards with 4 touchdowns. Commanders play the Saints. Marshawn Lattimore, homecoming game, little revenge. Which leads me into the next tight end, which is Juwan Johnson with Taysom Hill out for the year. Scored week 14, 5 targets, 4 catches, 50 yards and a touchdown. In 2 of the last of his 3, so he's being productive. I don't know if Derek Carr is playing through his non-throwing hand fracture, but be on the lookout for the quarterback situation in New Orleans. Let's see. Let me see if there's any updates. He did not practice today, so monitor that if you need to see if their backup Rattler is going to be playing. And then Pat Fryermuth, my game of the week. I think that game's going to be super fun. Pittsburgh, Philly, good old PA Bowl. Since week 10, 19 targets, 18 receptions, high catch rate again, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns scored last week. And then Cole Kmet, Hunter Henry, usual suspects. So keep those people in mind. Tight ends is very fluctuated. It could be 4-point game, 7-point game, or 12, 15, 18 type of game. So you might want to look at the tight ends a little closer than the others just because you might want to ride the hot hand. And if you got to play all the way through the playoffs without a bye, you might have find an opportunity to switch it up. I'll kick it back to you for our kickers.
I caught what you did there.
Yeah, see what I did there?
I do like my boy Jason Sanders. He's been hooping ever since Tua's back. He's been a go. He may have had one hiccup last week, or not this past week. The week probably had like a 3-point game in Green Bay, but he's been a go. Will Rickard should be a smooth play going forward. His first game back off IR. I believe he missed a field goal this week, but
Yeah.
definitely has high potential to score and high scoring offense. So more potential at field goals. Definitely can save the day with mad extra points because Sam Darnold could throw 5 touchdown passes. So
Yeah, they're at the crib on Monday night too against Chicago.
exactly in a dome environment, so you don't have to worry
Yep.
about the weather.
Hmm.
Jason Myers, like you were saying earlier. I like Will Lutz this week. Could have been dropped from bye weeks. Reversing Indy. So I definitely like him. Cade York for the Bengals is somebody I like versus Tennessee. Zane Gonzalez is someone I like. And the kicker for the Jets, Carlson. He had like 12 points or so.
Anders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he has some potential this week versus the Jaguars. So again, if you're in a bind, somehow some of these players may be looking they were dropped, and you may be looking for an upgrade. Definitely would keep my eye on that. What you liking for this week for defense?
For DSTs, New Orleans is having the Washington Commanders come in fresh off a bye, so they will be locked and loaded, ready to go. They're currently favored 7.5 when they take their trip down to the no. So Washington's definitely a team to look at just because Derek Carr. With that potential injury, if he's going to be playing through it or not, could be a little tough for the or the passing situation. Moving on to Baltimore. Baltimore Ravens this week will be facing the Giants. Coming another team fresh off of a bye. Favored 16.5 right now. So
16 and a half.
16.5 right now. Yeah.
Jeez.
So BTA coming to MetLife to a theater near you very soon.
Theater near you.
So that's gonna be wild. Atlanta, they have the Raiders. Anything versus Raiders is a good
Desmond
play.
Ritter's I think starting right.
Desmond Ritter
Yeah.
facing his old team. See if he see how he pulls up.
I forgot
Could
that.
be a little revenge. Could be got a little battery in his back potentially with that game. Cardinals. Cardinals have the Patriots favored 6 right now. They could be looking to just try and get an elite draft pick now. I know Christian Gonzalez and Travis Hunter sounds real nice to them. So I'm sure they're probably trying to think about how they make their way to that. So Arizona's not all the way out of the picture being 6-7. Some things can happen. They can run the table. Some teams can lose. So they're still playing for everything. So definitely pick up Arizona with shaky Drake May led Patriot offense. And then, like you mentioned, the Bengals are facing the Titans. So whether it's Will Levis, whether it's Mason Rudolph, peaks and valleys on that team, very inconsistent. So you never know what's going to come out of that. But yeah, just keep your eyes on those people, those players, those teams, and yeah, locked and loaded. Hopefully you don't have to use it too much. Hopefully you're not too much into the injury bug. Wish you the best of luck with the RBs. Hopefully some shakes. They score some touchdowns.
I had to go with defense this week too.
Yeah, defense as well. 100%. So from there, let's move into the rankings. How we doing on time? Doing good. Awesome. So we'll do our rankings real quick. We'll keep it a little brief for the rankings. We'll keep it probably just to the elite players, just because you're in the playoffs. You should be playing the elite players, more than likely playing the elite players. So we won't bog you guys down too much with rankings. We'll obviously do our screenshots in case you want to see. Still can use them for gambling purposes. Still can use them for survivor pools. If you're still in your survivor pool, shout out to you. I left my survivor pool probably like week 3. Week 4. So shout out to you if you're still in a survivor pool, anything like that. So let's get into the rankings. Who started last time? You did. I'll start this one real quick. Rankings. So I will say the top 5 that we have. Jared does our rankings every week. Shout out to our in-house statistician. He grinds this every week out. So we appreciate you doing that for us. We don't use these are coming from us. It's in-house channel 856 stats. You know what I'm saying? So top 5, we got Lamar, we got Jaden, we got Joe Shiesty, we got Josh Allen, and we got Kyler Murray. My personal pick of the week is the number 1 quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Went into the bye very pissed. Mama cursed him out. Like I said, 300 passing, 100 rushing, and I might put a little, win by a touchdown, maybe a little win by 10 Might sprinkle something there. But I do think he's going to dominate. He wants to keep pace with the other teams. He obviously sees what Joe's doing. He sees what Pittsburgh's doing. Weirdly enough, he sees what Jameis is doing too. Competing and all that. So he wants to make sure that they stay at the top of the AFC North where they should be. And my sleeper for the week is going to be C.J. Stroud. What are you, C.J. Stroud?
What are you? Is a good
I
question.
know the pass protection's not great, but those are the same linemen that are leading Joe Mixon to a fantastic season. I know obviously protection coverages are different from the pass and the rush, but I'm gonna ask you, what are you? You got the Dolphins this week. They're playing meaningful football. You're 8-5. Doesn't feel like it. 28 in the backfield is definitely leading the charge. So what are you? What are you gonna do? Show us. And I think that's gonna be my message to C.J. Stroud this week. What are you bringing? And I think he might have a really good game, and put the league back on notice as him trying to prove himself as an elite quarterback. And then my one person that I will say, which is at the top of your pump the brakes, is Jalen Hurts. Stifling steel curtain coming into Philly, PA Bowl. It's going to be loud in there. Steelers fans travel fantastically well. So look out for Jalen Hurts. Might have a tough game. Might not be what you're used to as far as output. But running backs.
Whew. Derrick Henry, Saquon. I like Bijan a lot this week. Josh Jacobs is somebody that I can't get away from. I just
Yeah.
see his usage. But I'll give you another one. Chuba Hubbard. I'm high on this week, unfortunately, with the Brooks injury. Versus the Cowboys, I believe they've given up the most rushing touchdowns on the year with
Oh,
almost
really?
20.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's the one. If I had an anytime touchdown, if I had to snipe just one pick next week and put my life on it, I'd say, I'd
Yeah.
put Hubbard down. I think
Okay.
he's an automatic bucket for this week coming up.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Oh,
I don't like this week James Cook. I don't know if they're decreasing his usage for the playoffs. His stat line last week was ugly, and then Josh Allen has 3 rushing touchdowns. I don't know. This week, especially versus the Lions, they're kind of like their defense is banged up, but
yeah.
their rush defense is pretty solid. Just not a fan of James Cook this week. That was a surprise. He probably led a lot of people to the playoffs, though.
I mean, too, it's like you said. I think you said it last week. Like, Josh Allen's not going to sit in the pocket. Once he's out of the pocket, James Cook's non-existent. So he's going to make it work. He's going to improvise, use his legs, and at that point, you're going to call more passing plays because if they just break down in the runs, then you don't really need James Cook to move too much, down the field. So completely agree. Any sleepers that you have for out of running backs that you think might pop off outside of Hubbard?
Definitely if K9 misses, I like Charbonnet a whole bunch. Rico Dowdle is someone versus Carolina I would play. He's a strong play for me. I think a sleeper, I'd say maybe. I'd probably say, yeah. Probably Dowdle maybe is the biggest
Dowdle.
one for me.
That's a good one.
Not really big on Jonathan Taylor this week either versus Denver. So that might surprise a bunch of people.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Wide receivers, how you feeling, Dan?
Wide receivers. I'm feeling good. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of clips on Jefferson and Addison. When they're stating their case for the best duo in the league, and I don't know. It's looking solid. I mean, but then there's those 2 guys in L.A. Then there's those 2 guys in Detroit. Then there's 2 guys in Philly. And there's 2 guys in Atlanta. Cincinnati. Miami.
Yeah.
New York. Like, there's a lot of good. Your team ain't G517, man.
I'm not
But
used to Devontae.
JSN and DK. No one talks about that one as much as I think they should.
Truthfully.
So, here's our green light top 5. We got Chase, we got McLaurin, we got the Ram duo, we got the Lion duo. I think this week's slept on duo. I like I'm gonna keep it with the Seahawks. I think that they compete with the Packers well. Packers traveling across the country to the 12s, Sunday night football game as well. Big NFC matchup. I think the JSN and DK, barring if I don't know if they're getting Jair back or not, but if they aren't, I think that's a good opportunity for them to light it up. I think that'll be a high-scoring game. I do think Jaden Reed If they get Romeo back, he's questionable. Christian Watson, I think that'll be a high-scoring game. Very fun. Glad that one's in prime time. Wish I was in the playoffs to enjoy that a little bit more. But I think that's my sleeper duos, the Packer duo and the Seahawk duo. But obviously, I think that the high performer will be Chase. And sleeper could be, if Lamar Jackson is moving and grooving like I think he will, I think Zay Flowers is a good sleeper to go with this week. I think he'll find his way into a touchdown. If he's dotting up, he'll definitely get his 7 catches, 100 yards, something around there. So something you can add to your parlay to think about. As far as that's my sleeper. As far as ones to stay away from, I would say it's always a bad day when you have the PS2 matchup. So Michael Pittman, nah, probably not. Then the Cardinals are facing the Patriots. Christian Gonzalez has Marvin Harrison Jr., so maybe not. Don't run to the MHJ, maybe. And then, like I was saying before with the PA Bowl, Brown and Smith, they got Joey Porter, they got Minka, they got a tough secondary over there. That'll make it pretty difficult on them. I think it's going to be a scrappy game, a high-scoring scrappy game nonetheless. But, yeah, I would say one to avoid the most would probably be, I'll say Jacoby Myers from the Raiders, unfortunately, just because you got Jesse Bates lurking over top. You got A.J. Terrell in your face. I don't think it's optimal for my guy. He does get his reps in though, because I mean, who else could we throw the ball
The
to?
quarterback.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But
Desmond
yeah,
Ritter. Shout out Desmond Ritter.
shout out Desmond Ritter. Yay. On to you with the tight ends.
Brock Bowers.
Pause.
I sat there in Tampa in Evan's living room, and I was begging for the Jets to draft Brock Bowers at pick, what was it, 14 we had for Olu Fashanu?
Yep.
Sat there. I couldn't believe it. I said, yo, Aaron Rodgers all in here. We're going to get a weapon. And so, I don't know.
a
But
beast.
fast forward, here we are.
This is disgusting.
So, Brock Bowers is my favorite tight end of the week. Obviously, strong tight end play. I'm going to say Bowers, Kittle, McBride, Kelsey. But I got to put show love to my boy, Jonnu Smith.
100%.
Definitely. I could honestly maybe swap down Kelsey for Andrews, though. Kelsey's
Yeah,
been looking
I agree.
slow. I kind of like the Giants, the matchup versus the Giants.
Yep.
So I could definitely sneak Andrews I'll take Kelsey off that and put Andrews in there. He's been definitely playing well. And Lamar's, probably coming off bye week. They got some plays lined up for them.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
This week, I'm not too big on. I know it's a lot. It's hard at tight end. It's hard to find tight end. But Kyle Pitts is somebody I don't think you can trust in a playoff lineup. I don't.
No.
I wouldn't trust him. He's been getting outscored by more receiving yards, but like what Ray McLeod and all these other. I can't. Wouldn't trust him.
Revive Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, it's just like I like Darnell Mooney a lot though this year, but just Kyle Pitts, he has too much talent to be underproducing like this. We had excuses last year when
Top
it was Arthur
7
Smith.
pick.
So I'm saying all these excuses, and now he's doing the same thing.
He needs to go look at what Brock doing, baby.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not 100%.
I'm not big on Kincaid this week. He hasn't been producing. Evan Ingram, I know you have. I think what saves him is the matchup. Mac Jones, I'm not too sure he looks his way. So.
Yeah, it's spurty, honestly. I hate having Evan Ingram because it's like you'll have 0 for the first quarter and like quarter and a half, and then they put a 2-minute drill in before halftime. He gets like 4.6, and then coming out of half, then he's starting to get work, and then he winds up getting where he's supposed to be. But it's just it's a sweat fest, like just trying to stick that out. So as far as kickers, Boswell should have a lot of opportunities. Be wary of the weather. It's been really tough weather around the 856 right now, so be wary of the weather. But
True.
he'll have a lot of opportunities. Chris Boswell, he is the leading scorer in the league as well. So that's Chris's kicker. Something to look out for you when you play. Obviously, he's. I think when he played me, he put up a dub, 22.
Oh yeah.
So easily won him our no question won him our matchup. Brandon Aubrey, good opportunity there. He's playing the Panthers. Cooper Rush actually looked pretty good and driving the
He
ball
did.
down the field, so they'll at least get into field goal range, if anything, facing Carolina, barring the weather down there as well. So another good one, Kaimi Fairbairn for you, I think is another good play against the Dolphins. If C.J. Stroud, answers the call like I'm asking, then they should put up a lot of points. And being in Miami, good, nice, dry weather, the kicks should fly, and you should probably be hitting good before the game. So when you get into the game, it should look good. One of my sleepers, I agree with you, would be Will Lutz against Indy at the crib. They can hang a lot of points on them. Their defense isn't as strong as it's been in seasons past. So I do think that that is a good matchup for Will Lutz. I think he'll have a lot of opportunity. If it's not extra points, definitely getting those field goals. And then my sleeper will be, I'm going to say Riker, because I think the Bears might get embarrassed on Monday Night Football. So I'll go with Riker as my
They
sleeper
let me
pick.
down last week. They
Yeah.
sure did.
100%. And I like your pump the brakes a lot, because it's been like not a theory, if you will, but just a trend. All the kickers that you know of, not yesteryear, but your elites that were mainstays are not those guys no more.
Oh, you can't
Yeah,
go by names
yeah.
anymore,
The,
dude.
the Justin Tuckers, the Basses, the Jake Moody's, the Jake Elliott's, like those are not steady guys anymore. Those are not floors of 8 with ceilings of 17 anymore. Those aren't those guys. So be careful at playing those. Obviously, you know you want to. It's the name, like you just said, but stay clear. Go with guys like like we were talking about, Sanders, Lutz, Dicker, Aubrey, Boswell, McLaughlin. Like, go for guys like that, because I mean, despite being on elite teams, they're not doing their part as of late, and it doesn't look like it's. I wouldn't be ready to rush that with a postseason victory on the line. So and you can kick it back to you to wrap it up with DSTs.
DSTs this week were definitely the toughest position, I feel like, to
Yeah,
rank. Definitely for me, I feel like it's the hardest to waiver as well.
absolutely.
I'm just gonna be real.
So matchup based.
There's only three that I feel like were probably three that maybe were available on the waivers for. But I like Baltimore a lot versus the Giants. Tommy DeVito starting, so that's enough said. Washington versus New Orleans. I believe Spencer Ryder, or I forget the other dude's name, but he might be starting. Look, I'll take my chances. Like you said, Lattimore debut. Minnesota is a strong play. Arizona's definitely been a strong defense over the course of a month. Denver's, if they're out there.
Oh, Danucci, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what?
Nucci main. Yeah.
Well, there's another one though. It's
Jake
like
Hayner.
Yeah, there we
Jake
go. That's
Hayner,
another one.
yeah. Fresno State kid.
Yeah, like any of that, no.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no.
I would start Arizona, Denver, Green Bay comfortably, but if you're in a pinch, Atlanta, Cincy, and New York are options to hold your nose, because it's a lot of or a lot of strong defenses playing each other.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh and Philly, Buffalo, Detroit. What was it? Who the Chargers got?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Well,
Yep.
Chargers. I wouldn't really start them comfortably, but they've been holding it down. San Francisco, they play the Rams. I wouldn't play them really. Kansas City's, I feel like fool's gold.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they have the Browns too. Jameis Winston's gonna compete.
Wouldn't touch them. Bears defense couldn't play them versus the Vikings unless you're hoping for an upset. And Houston, I couldn't play versus Miami right now. Miami's been trending.
Yeah, Miami's definitely trending upward.
Gotta
Like
hope
what they
for
got
like
going on.
8. I feel like you have to hope for 8 points
You
this
have
week
to.
from a lot of big name defenses.
Yeah. It's not the touchdowns. It's the get sacks, get
Exactly.
interceptions.
Hold the
Like
fort.
get 4 or 5 sacks. That's point each right there.
Maybe a punt return or something, bail
Something.
somebody out, or a
Something.
big play, maybe refs something.
Yeah, water's over here. All right, yeah. So it is GTP time. How we looking? We good? Cool. GTP time. I had a pretty solid week of GTP last week.
Smooth.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty smooth week. And then if we have time, we'll do rapid fire money lines, and then we'll get out of here for episode 11, playoff edition. Stay tuned as well. We're gonna try and get little voice memos from everybody previewing their matchups for the playoffs, our 4-5 and our 3-6. Maybe get the 2 buys in there, let them see how they're relaxing and resting on their bye weeks for this upcoming week. But all right, GTP, Jared, let's do it.
Right off the bat, RB 16 on the year,
16.
averaging 13.86 points per game. He got a total of 166.3 points.
Mm-hmm.
He has a total of 164 attempts on the year.
Mm-hmm.
692 rushing yards, 23rd in the league, so it's not strong.
Yep.
Bottom half of the league.
Mm-hmm.
4 rushing touchdowns, 4.2 yards per carry. He has 62 targets, 46 receptions,
Mm-hmm.
401 receiving yards, 2 TDs with 11 red zone touches on the year.
Mm.
Last year, he finished as RB7 with a total of 252.5 points, averaging 14.85 points per game, 223 rushing attempts, 994 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, 4.5 yards per carry. He had 95 targets, 76 receptions, 591 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns, 25 red zone targets.
He finished with under 1,000 last year,
Yeah.
so he came on strong late. Then, if he was RB7,
He was in. I wouldn't. He was overall. He had a good year last
I
year.
was just doing everything. It sounds like too.
He's very good receiving last year. He was snapping.
All right, RB7. He's elite. If it's not,
He was lightning last
if
year.
it's not one, it's the other. If it's
That was
not
my hint to
one,
you.
it's the other.
If you peeped it, that
It
was
was
my
it was
hint.
he was lightning last year. Ah. So I've been trying to catch on to your hints. So lightning like grease is lightning like breeze.
There
I'm
we
with you.
go.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you.
All right. We're gonna stick with the running backs though. I got RB this year. RB6. He's averaging 16.52 points per game, 214.80 points on the year,
Balling.
239 rushing attempts, so he's 4th in the league. 1,053 rushing yards, he's 3rd in the league. 11 rushing touchdowns, tied for 3rd in the league.
Balling.
4.4 yards per carry. Doesn't catch passes though. 34 targets, 27 receptions, 260 receiving yards, 1 receiving touchdown finally, and he has 34 red zone touches on the year. So he's been getting work out in the red zone. He's living there. Last year he finished his RB27 though. He only had 162.60 points last year, so he's already shattered that for this year. Last year he was only averaging 12.5 points per game. He had 233 rushing attempts last year, so he's already beaten that. 805 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, averaging 3.5 yards per carry. 54 targets for 37 receptions for 296 receiving yards, no touchdowns. But he had 40 red zone touches last year.
Kenneth Walker.
No. Good guess, though. He's in that range, though.
Yeah.
Definitely in that caliber running back. A little better.
A little better. You said he's running back what right now?
Currently running back 6.
Running back 6.
214.80 points, 16.5 he averages points per game, 239 rushing attempts. I could give you a hint, but I feel like the hint gives it away immediately.
Josh Jacobs?
It is Josh Jacobs.
Let's
The hint, I was going to say the hint
go.
is he holds the record for the longest streaks of receptions without a
Oh, that
touchdown.
would have definitely gave it away.
Yeah. I feel like
Josh Jacobs.
He's on the Raiders, so I figure you probably do know that he don't catch passes,
Nothing.
touchdowns.
And that's what when you were like, yeah, he doesn't catch a lot. I was like, yep, got it.
Yeah.
2 for 2. Let's go.
I like this. All right, we're going to go with our wide receiver 5 on the year. He's
Okay.
averaging 13.25 points per game. Has a total of 172.3 points per game. Points on the year. He got 82 targets for 61 receptions, so he's tied for 18th in the league in catches. But he's done with those catches. 896 receiving yards, so he's 7th.
Mm-hmm.
He's tied for 2nd with 9 receiving touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He has 9 red zone targets and 2 rushing attempts for 2 yards, so 1 yard per carry. Last year, though, he was wide receiver 32. Total of 169.7 points, so he's already outscored himself from last year. He was just averaging under 10 points per game, 9.98. He had 132 targets last year, tied for 24th in the league. Only 79 receptions though, 1,002 receiving yards for 4 touchdowns and 8 red zone targets.
Wide receiver 5. Jaden Reed?
Mm-mm. He's definitely playing with the best quarterback of his career.
Interesting. Okay. Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin, it is. It is Terry McLaurin. He's been hooping. He's somebody, I'll be honest, I was very high on this year, and I just couldn't get to him in the draft. But I like what I see from him this year. He's
Scary Terry.
hooping. We're going to keep it wide receiver, though. I like this player. Wide receiver 11 on the year currently. He has a total of 151.30 points on the year, averaging 12.61 points per game. He's tied for 10th in the NFL with 104 targets on the year, so he's getting fed.
Yeah.
63 receptions for 846 receiving yards, which is 16th in the league. 5 touchdowns, and he has 13 red zone targets.
Okay.
This player also is 2 for 2 passing this year for 30 yards and a passing touchdown.
Hey.
Last year, this player finished.
Oh, I think I got it.
Last year, this player finished. You on fire today, then? He was wide receiver 35 last year. Average or had a total of 160.70 points. Averaged 10.04 points per game. Only 90 targets last year. 59 catches. 772 receiving yards, but 10 touchdowns. 17 red zone targets.
Jordan Addison.
No,
Did he throw a touchdown this year? I could have.
he might have.
Okay. I got hype.
I'll give you a hint though. This is the only wide receiver to complete passes in back-to-back weeks. So he had those 2 for 2, those passing attempts in
Yep.
back-to-back weeks this year.
Impressive. Okay. Let me.
Currently wide receiver 11. Last year wide receiver 35. So he's made a huge jump. I'll tell you that.
AFC or NFC?
AFC.
Jacoby Myers?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't. Alright, that was a stupid guess. I'm not gonna lie, that's a stupid guess. AFC passing East. No. Amari Cooper?
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to like visualize a wide receiver passing it. AFC South, Titans, Jags, Nico Collins,
Mm-mm.
wide receiver. What this year?
11.
AFC. Calvin Ridley.
No. He's in that mold though. He's right there with Calvin Ridley though. He's like right in that range though. You're right in that range for real.
AFC.
He's been just a little better than him. He's more consistent, much more consistent. He's been on fire lately, actually.
Judy?
No, but right along the lines, he's just under him. Truthfully, last like month or so.
This is my last guess. There we
Go
go.
for it.
AFC West. Them. Nope. Back to the north. Them. Pickens?
Cortland Sutton. You were
Cortland!
When you said West, I was like, oh, okay.
Everybody in that mold.
I like that.
I was literally saying every tier of wide receiver in that like tier right now.
I played against Cortland Sutton recently. He definitely had 2 touchdowns on me. So
3 for 4.
we got this year. We're gonna stick to a tight end. Currently, this year's tight end 6. He's averaging 8.77 points per game on the year.
All right.
He scored a total of 114 flat points. He's only got 54 targets, 39 receptions, for 521 yards, 7 touchdowns, tied for fourth in the league in touchdowns. He has 11 red zone targets and 2 rushing attempts for 4 yards, so 2.2 yards per carry.
Yep.
Last year, though, tight end 28 finish. He only had a total of 63 points on the year. Um, he only averaged 6.3 points per game, so he only played like 10 games, essentially. I'll be honest, I don't think he played that well. He had 40 targets, 31 receptions, 355 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, and 7 red zone targets.
Can you say the tight end rank again? What
For
he
this
is now? Yeah.
This year, he's tight end 6.
Okay.
Last year, he was tight end 28.
Okay. And then his yards one more time
This
over the
year,
years.
he has 54 targets, 39 receptions for 521 yards and 7 touchdowns.
7 touchdowns.
Last year, he had 40 targets, 31 receptions, 355 receiving yards, and only 2 touchdowns.
Tight end 6. I get you tight end 6. Golly. Uh. Fryermuth.
Mm-mm.
No, I feel like you did him recently. That was a bad guess. Tucker Craft.
Tucker Craft. It
Boom.
is.
Let's go.
Tucker Craft. It is. That was a boom. I like
Let's
that.
go.
He thought about it. He paused. He lined him right up.
Because I'm thinking like a score, like he's 7
he's a
touchdowns.
bucket.
Yeah.
He's a bucket. He's definitely been my favorite waiver pick. Well, him and Jordan Mason this year, but he's been a player I definitely opened my eyes this year. Big playmaker. With Jordan Love, too. That's why I was like, maybe I could sneak that up.
Yeah, with J Love. I get so pissed, though. I don't have him, so like when I liked obviously the points, but like I'm just like, damn, I could get a stack. I should have got him at waiver when I didn't like Evan Ingram.
Oh, Gucci had to get rid of Mark Andrews for Buddy.
Facts.
All right, we're going to go with our only defense of the night or the week. This defense is number 10 on the year.
Okay.
They average 7.08 points per game. Total on the year is 92 points scored. They allow an average of 284.2 yards per game. They're only allowing points, 17.54 points to opponents per game. No defensive touchdowns on the year. They're tied for 7th, though, in the NFL with 37 sacks, no safeties. They're 16th in the league, so middle of the pack in interceptions, although they have a strong pass defense. They're tied for 1st in forced fumbles with 16.
Damn.
They have 7 fumbles recovered. Last year, they were DST number 23. They only had a total of 101 points last year.
Mm-hmm.
They averaged 5.94 points per game. They're averaging 356.1 yards allowed to opponents. They were 26th, bottom of the league, bottom 5 or 6 in the league. They were averaging 24.47 points allowed to opponents last year. They actually did have 3 defensive touchdowns, 43 sacks, 1 safety, 9 picks, 16 forced fumbles, 9 recovered, and 1 block.
Seattle.
Good guess, though.
Zona.
Very good guess.
Okay, those are the 2 that I just had to get
It's
out.
right around Arizona. You're on that line, that great line of thinking there. They flipped their unit from a year ago quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So think, who does that usually? That side of the ball. What team could do that recently?
Kansas City.
Last year, the hint is they were the 3rd worst pass defense. They averaged 255 passing yards allowed. This year, they're only allowing 178.5 passing yards per game. Rushing, they were averaging 105.8. This year, it's pretty the same, 104.3. So they very stiff run defense, but their passing a year ago was trash. This year, it's stifling.
Philly?
It sure is. Philly. That was good. I like that.
Yeah.
That was clean.
Philly. All right, bet. Drinking Smart Water. I did really well. Some of my Smart Water gang and shit. You know.
Shout out Smart
I
Water.
did pretty well this week. I like it. Look good that week. All right, cool. Love that. Yeah. So, again, shout out to everybody that made the playoffs. Enjoy your first round. If you got a bye, sit back, kick up, and enjoy football. Okay. Yeah. This is episode 11. We appreciate y'all support as always. Again, like, comment, subscribe.
Boom.
I'm saying you can do rapid fire.
Oh, we do have time for rapid fire. Oh, bet.
Okay,
All right,
cool.
let's do it. All right. I like you said wrap it
I
up.
know, right,
I was like, oh, yep. All right, so that'll be me. That's it. No, you good. You good. All right. We'll do a week. It is week 15 rapid fire. Starting with Thursday tomorrow, Rams Niners, ending with a double Monday Night Football
Let's say it at the same
special.
time.
Oh, all right. Bet you.
Just
All right,
go
bet.
down and then say Rams 9 and the next matchup.
All right, Rams Niners.
Rams.
Niners.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Oh, let's do 3-2-1. We'll do a 3-2-1 each time. All right. So Rams Niners 3-2-1 Rams. All right. Steelers Eagles.
3, 2, 1.
Steelers. I like the Steelers. Ravens Giants 3-2-1 Ravens.
By a million miles.
Jets Jags
3-2-1
3-2-1 Jags. Cowboys Panthers
3, 2, 1.
Cowboys.
Panthers.
Cowboys.
Panthers. I got the
Ooh.
Panthers.
I think the Cowboys played good football last week.
They did, but I got the Panthers.
Ooh, I think Micah Parsons is gonna be pissed. He's gonna sack him
That's
like
fine.
4 times. All right. Commanders Saints.
3, 2, 1.
Commanders. Bengals Titans
3, 2, 1.
Bengals.
Bengals.
A lot of blowouts this week. These matchups are not great. Chiefs Browns
3, 2, 1.
Chiefs.
I'll be honest. I want the
Cleveland?
Browns to win,
Me
but
too.
it's the Chiefs.
Yeah,
It's
agreed.
the refs and the Chiefs.
They find a way. Dolphins Texans
3, 2, 1.
Texans. Like I said, CJ, what you got? Colts Broncos
3, 2, 1.
Broncos.
Broncos.
Patriots Cardinals 3-2-1 Cardinals. Ooh, I'm gonna breathe on this one. This is a good game. Bills Lions.
3, 2, 1.
Lions.
Yes.
Lions,
I do.
yeah.
I can't stand
Lions.
the Bills.
Yeah, I'm over them too. And they lost that game last week. It's not like they won. Bucks Chargers.
3, 2, 1.
Bucks. Yep. Packers Seahawks. This is another weird one, but all right, I'm ready. 3-2-1
Packers.
Seahawks.
I got the Packers holding it down.
I think yeah. Yeah.
They're at home.
Nah, it's
They're
at
away.
Seattle.
The defense has to travel without Alexander. It's gonna be a big
Have
game.
to.
Yeah.
They're favored 3 right now. All right, double Monday. Falcons Raiders. 3-2-1 Falcons. Shador, hold your rolly. Bears Vikings to conclude. 3-2-1 Vikings. All right, yeah. Now the
Bless your
matchups.
Vikings.
The matchups are not great this week. So a lot of blowouts outside of Steelers Eagles should be a good one. I think Packers Seahawks is going to be a surprisingly good one.
Lions Bills. Packers Seahawks definitely on my list.
Dolphins Texans I hope could be a good.
Dolphins Texans. Steelers Eagles definitely.
For sure.
Those 4 I feel like I'm definitely eyeing.
Nah, that's a fact.
Bucks and Chargers I do think.
Rams
too.
Niners if the Niners play, yeah, Bucks.
Thursday's been good lately. Thursday's
Yeah.
been hooping last month.
And the Rams are I swear the Rams and Bengals.
Puka.
Yeah, nasty. If the Rams and Bengals buy defenses for next year,
If they
they might
Rams been drafting.
they might repeat that Super Bowl. Jared versus tough.
Kobe Turner, whoever they got. They got a few people over there.
Yeah. But listen, guys, 11 in the books. Like, comment, and subscribe as always. Hit that noti bell. We appreciate y'all as always. Shout out to your grandma. Enjoy her birthday.
Appreciate
Shout out to
that.
her.
Word.
And yeah, anybody else having a birthday, all Sagittarius out in the world, shout out to y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe again. Do I got any shout outs? Shout out y'all for supporting. Shout out to y'all in the playoffs. Good luck, get a dub. I'm in the playoffs in 2 leagues, so got a 1 seed bye, I'm set 2 seed in the side league, so can win some money. We'll see what happen. Jared, any shout outs?
Shout out to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to my parents. And we're going to shout out Joe Burrow.
for being my favorite quarterback and my favorite player this whole season.
Shout out.
Because he's definitely single-handedly won some games for me.
Joe Brr.
But we are going to keep it simple. I'm going to tell you, Chris, it's definitely a good matchup. I'm looking forward to it. Let me think. I had something else I wanted to say. Like, comment, subscribe for sure. That contest giveaway is definitely coming, so we're going to need y'all to be liking, commenting, already subscribed. So it might be too late for you if you're waiting, so stop playing. Damn.
Potential collabs on the way.
I was gonna say something. Potential collabs on the way. Shout out Matt Cohen them. We're gonna get into that soon. So we're gonna preview that. If you know Matt, you know. So be on the lookout for that. Damn, I really had something I wanted to say, but it's cool though, cause it's gonna come to me. But yeah, for real, I appreciate all y'all rocking with us. It's the playoffs. Get right or get lost.
Yeah, facts. Episode 11. Shout out King as always. Shout out CP. I haven't seen you. We got the game on in the back. I haven't seen you specifically yet, but actually I think I just saw you, low key. But yeah, no. We appreciate y'all's support. We will see y'all next week. Hopefully, you still in the playoffs.
I figured out what I wanted
You got
to say.
it. You got it.
I did.
You got it.
All right, so this year I'm in 4 leagues, and I actually accomplished getting the playoffs for 4 leagues. So
Hey,
I'm trying to bring it
100%.
home all
That's what's
4. Only 1 first round bye, but Superflex Dynasty League, no kicker defense league with 2 flex. That's 1, and then our leagues that we're in the side league and the main zone.
For
So
sure.
we trying to go 4 for 4 like Wendy's in here.
Hey, we appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Doses.